Well, I think the Lakers shut up a lot of doubters last night after their first game where they got smacked by Golden State. Many fans, or rather non-Laker fans along with the usual trolls and haters, were claiming they weren't even a real playoff team, that they can't survive without LeBron, that they won't even reach the play-in and should just trade half the roster and all that trash-talking nonsense. I think they proved plenty of them wrong last night, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves, the same team that tossed them out of the NBA playoffs last year, not to mention taking them out in 5 games, beating them by basically 20 points and owning the whole second half. Looking dominant from Anthony Davis, him dropping 49 points, 1 shy of the 50-point mark, and just 2 assists shy of a 50-point triple-double to stamp it. Austin Reeves had 25 points, Rui Hachimura had 23 points. Their defense finally waking up with both Gabe Vincent and Jarred Vanderbilt giving them a huge spark off the bench. And overall, they look like a team that clearly is ready to battle. However, that flips fast if they lose tomorrow to Sacramento. The cycle would just spin again. So don't overreact to it just yet. There were plenty of bright spots. They clearly fixed a few things from the first game, but there is still work to clean up. However, I think they showed a legit promising spark, especially with their defense last night between both Jarred Vanderbilt and Gabe Vincent. They really proved they can swing games for this team, and in a certain lineup too, the one we saw late in the second quarter heading into halftime where they blasted a 14-4 run and held Anthony Edwards to 0 points with 2 turnovers in that 4.5-minute span, which was mostly caused by Vanderbilt and Vincent bullying him on the court and freezing the whole Timberwolves offense. So now the real question here is, what was this lineup? Why did it slap so hard? And can the Lakers start using it more going forward? Maybe even creating some kind of defensive death lineup, so to speak. We are about to break that down, what they flashed last night, especially on defense, and why it might be a huge weapon for them moving forward. But without wasting time, let's get into what the Lakers actually showed last night. And like I said, they went on that 14-4 burst to close the second quarter, and the 5-man lineup that pulled it off was LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Jarred Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, and Rui Hachimura. Yes, it was a small ball lineup that a lot of Laker fans swear they hate, but it absolutely dragged the team back into rhythm last night, mainly on defense. Like I said, they really made Ant miserable on the floor during that 4.5 to roughly 5-minute window. Anthony Edwards coughed up 2 turnovers, one forced by Vincent and the other by Vanderbilt, and he went 0 for 2 from the field while bricking a 3, missing a mid-range, and even clanking a free throw in that stretch too. All around, he clearly got rattled by the tag team pressure of Vanderbilt, Vincent, and the Lakers' non-stop defensive energy in that sequence, which was really lit by Gabe Vincent. And there's honestly no real argument against that. If you watched the game, especially that late second quarter stretch, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. He stepped in off the bench and was extremely vocal on the court, was loud about bringing toughness and pushing his teammates to actually care about defense. And it obviously worked. The whole roster followed his lead and finally locked in for more than just a quick possession. They stayed locked in for basically a 5-minute stretch. That momentum even carried into the third quarter too. And yeah, if you just look at the box score, it won't blow you away. Only 3 total points on 1 of 2 from the field, 1 of 1 from deep, and a single assist. But if you actually watch the game, then you know exactly what I mean. You could also point to his plus-minus, which was a team-best plus 24 in this matchup. But again, you cannot use the box score or raw stats to understand his real impact. You have to actually see the film and the possessions themselves. So with that in mind and pointing right to it, I believe it began at the 4-minute and 43-second mark of the second quarter when Gabe Vincent checked in. Roughly a minute before this, and immediately taking on the Anthony Edwards matchup, where he jumped right into the assignment and cut off the drive with Vincent holding his ground until the help defense arrived. Rui Hachimura swiped at the ball and made Ant freeze for just a moment, which Vincent used to straight up rip the ball out of his hands, hitting the deck to secure it and then firing it ahead to Austin Reeves for an easy 2 in transition. Something the Lakers basically never capitalize on and almost never exploit. Not only because they don't rack up many steals, but even when they do, they almost never push the pace for a free bucket like that, which came straight from Vincent. And of course, he made another impact play the very next trip down the floor on defense. This time he was matched up with Naz Reid and once again got right into his dribble. Reid tried to work past him and Vincent just stripped it clean again. Yes, he later lost it while diving on the floor trying to recover it, but that sequence clearly helped spark. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but that to me was a near-perfect game for the Lakers playing without LeBron James. Whether you're talking about their offense really clicking on all facets, Luka Doncic dropping a near 50-point game, having a 49-point triple-double, yes, this time actually getting the triple-double after having a near 43-point triple-double in their season opener. Austin Reeves putting up 25 points, Rui Hachimura having 23 points, even getting 15 points from DeAndre, who played much better in their second game compared to the season opener. And then their defense actually stepping up too. And big shout out to both Marcus Smart and Jarred Vanderbilt coming off the bench. After an up and down first quarter from the Lakers, in which their defense didn't look good at all. In fact, they basically played no defense during the first quarter. Marcus Smart really lit a fire under them. In fact, the five-man combo of Marcus Smart, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, and Jarred Vanderbilt ended the second quarter on a 16-5 run, which they definitely carried over into the third quarter. And speaking of the third quarter, they finally played well during the third quarter. I mean, in their season opener, they were flat out awful in the third quarter, coming out of halftime looking dead and giving up a 15-point gap to Golden State. They clearly figured out how to flip that tonight. I mean, I'm not sure what JT Rigg told them or what he did to fire them up in the locker room, but it clearly worked. So hopefully he keeps that energy going, and hopefully the whole team keeps this going forward too. But like I said, both Marcus Smart and Jarred Vanderbilt definitely sparked it, really lighting a fire under the team during the first quarter, or rather the second quarter. Let me correct that, which absolutely carried over into the third quarter and throughout the entirety of the game for their team. No, it might not look great from a numbers standpoint, not a stats standpoint. Together, they only scored 5 points on 1 of 4 from the field, hitting just 1 3-point shot. But if you actually watched the game, then you know exactly what I mean. Between Marcus Smart laying out and throwing his body around to chase loose balls, playing tough defense, and even bothering Anthony Edwards at times, actually scoring in transition for them. And between the two of them really giving their team that spark, it clearly carried over and gave their team life. And with zero surprise to me at all, Marcus Smart finished the game with a plus 24 plus-minus rating, the highest on the roster, while only scoring 3 points to do it. Again, showing the energy he brought, the spark he gave them, the defense he played, and the vocal.
Mardo, I think, only took 1 or 2 shots. He was plus 24 off the bench. Does that kind of typify the energy and the effort you got from not just him, but some Vanderbilt, some other guys as well?
Yeah, I mean, everybody that came off that bench, and that bench group was big for us. They guarded at a high level. They just competed. They had back-to-back possessions. Marcus got 1 steal, should have been 2. He lost the other one, but just laying his line out, or his body out on the line for us and giving us opportunities over and over again. That's the same with Jake. DA was a monster tonight. So just continuing to build those things and trust in one another, and we'll be fine.
Leadership, and what he did to push their team to give more effort on both ends of the floor. I think that's something people won't talk about enough, but they really should. Marcus Smart deserves a lot of credit. Jarred Vanderbilt deserves plenty of credit, not just Luka Doncic or the guys dropping 20-plus points. Those two definitely deserve a big mention. With that said though, I really did like and still like the way the whole team played tonight, especially in the second half. At that point, basically the whole squad clicked in every area. The offense flowed great. Not just Luka and Austin, but the role players started stepping up too, really pointing to Rui Hachimura and DeAndre here. I love how Rui Hachimura got involved tonight, after the season opener where he only took 6 shots, all of which were 3-point attempts, and not many of them were good looks. Rui Hachimura got 13 shots tonight, hitting 10 of them, which is way above his usual average, and showing he can really be that third option for them if it's a mix of being involved in the offense and actually playing more aggressive too, which he definitely showed tonight. Dropping 23 points on 10 of 13 from the field, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, even creating for himself a bit and getting a couple of and-ones to prove it. I love the way Hachimura played tonight, and I can actually say the same for DeAndre tonight as well. It wasn't just the box score that looked good. He passed the eye test, bringing real energy on the floor, even giving legit rim protection and out-rebounding Rudy Gobert, their opponent's center tonight. So I like how DeAndre looked in that area. Then, in the pick-and-roll game, I think it showed growth between him, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and even a bit with Marcus Smart off the bench, too. In the end, he finished with 15 points, 8 rebounds, 1 block, going 7 of 11 from the field, and ending with a +9 plus-minus overall. So good game for DeAndre, great game for Rui Hachimura, absolutely terrific game for Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves.
A lot of positive things tonight from a lot of players. Gabe, terrific job defensively again on a primary guy. Battled your ass off tonight. Our 3 guys off the bench, Marcus, Vando, Jake, with some big-time plays defensively. That was your best defensive game you've had for us so far. That was awesome. That was awesome. I'm talking preseason too. That was great. DA dominated. Another great defensive performance from you. Another great one. All right. Rui, you were spectacular. AR, against that team to have 11 assists and 1 turnover. 11 assists and 1 turnover against that team is big time. And Luka, way to just control the game. Got us going early with your scoring. Picked up your defense. You ended up with 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 49 points. Not a bad night. Not a bad night. Completely dominated that game. That was great stuff. Regardless of the result, the reference point of us playing hard. Did you feel it? Because I saw it. I felt it. And I didn't play.
I feel it right now.
I know you feel it right now. That's a reference point of how hard we have to play. Terrific job. Bring it in. Let's go.
And overall a great team win. So with that being said, I'll let you hear from JJ Redick about it, how they look tonight, and how they can keep this momentum moving forward.